Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Project Network. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from Kadena Bulls. This conversation was recorded on May 18th, 2022, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of KPN directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, we're gonna go get ahead and get started now. So I am Manatee. I'm gonna be hosting this space, and today we are with Kadena Bulls, which is a community-based NFT project. And they're nostalgic, and yeah, the art is really cool. I'd recommend you just go check out their banner art. I'm sure you'll fall in love with them instantly. If you guys wanna go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yo, what up? Yeah, it's just me today. No Rizzy. We got Arkade might be hopping on here in a bit, but yeah, we started Kadena Bulls back in January. Us three founders were all childhood friends. A lot of you guys have heard the story, but we're passionate about technology, NFTs, art, and we wanted to kind of combine all of that and our love for gaming as well and create a project around all of that. But we didn't want to really get into the entire metaverse, completely immersive type games. We wanted to be able to pay homage to the games that we grew up playing, such as Tetris and Pong and Snake and those arcade classics. So we thought, why not build a play to earn model around that, and include rewards for our NFT holders. So we wanted to create sick art that people can vibe with, that people can relate to, that brings back good memories from childhood, hence all of our different themes. And then in addition to that, create an experience for everyone to come together and play some games. So we did that, and then we recently launched our play to earn casino, where you can go in and wager on games like roulette and coin flip with KDA. So we are the first ever project on the Kadena ecosystem to implement that. So that's pretty exciting. So that's all live, guys. And yeah, we got lots coming, lots of exciting stuff. But that's kind of the backstory, and so far what we've accomplished.
Awesome. So, So as they said, they have a casino spelled with a K for our passionate Kadena holders. And basically, you can do coin flip or roulette, and you can actually wager to make some KDA. But they do have limits set just so that you don't obviously lose it all, which would suck.
For now.
For now, yeah. So I guess to tie into this gaming thing, will the Kadena Bulls NFTs actually be integrated into casino and arcade? And if so, how would they be?
Well, currently the plan is for all of our NFT holders to be able to be a part of the casino house. So we will take we'll have a whole Medium article written about this and more info on the specifics as we're still working those out. But right now everything is tracked and packed in the tables and the database. So that's all visible, and we'll be taking a percentage of that on a probably about a weekly basis. Like I said, we're still working out the details and paying out our holders part of the earnings of the casino. So that's one way it's going to be a part of it. Another way, which we haven't really shared yet, is there will be opportunities within the arcade to earn, to use those stars that you're earning right now. Those will be translated into adding into some additions for the NFTs. Like I said, I don't want to spill too much about that, but anyone who's been earning stars and already hit their 50 for the whitelist, you're going to want to, continue earning some stars, because there's going to be some benefits for that. So
that's pretty cool. So I guess when it comes to stars, I would say right now that's kind of like, is that still an early incentive system? for playing arcade and stuff like that. Is that a fair assumption?
Is it what was the question?
Is it kind of like an early incentive system for playing the arcade, just to kind of like get that in place, so eventually it can be redirected to Kadena Bulls holders?
Right, most definitely. Yep. So anyone who's playing early right now, I mean, they're already getting the benefit of being on the whitelist, but those stars aren't going anywhere, right? So those will be translated to more rewards once we launch as well. So we're still writing a lot of these pack smart contracts to be able to turn the Web 2 version of the current arcade into the play to earn model that already exists on the casino, but again, we are working on that on the arcade side. And like I said, yeah, those stars will be translated. So keep playing those games and earning those stars. Some people are wild. They got hundreds of stars. It's insane.
On the grind. I know that
Yeah,
experience
for
with
real.
some games that I play. Yeah.
Dude, when we
So-
started the arcade, like I created these games thinking people were gonna, like, for example, in Tetris, I was like, there's no way someone's gonna get like 10,000 points. Like I mean, there's a way, but like it'll be very rare. And people are getting like, I think the biggest Tetris score is like 200,000 or something crazy like that. Same thing with Snake. Like I've barely been able to get like 51 on a good day. People got like 240 something points in Snake. So it's pretty cool to see.
Snake is my Achilles heel. I do not like that game at all. But yeah, I really like playing arcade though. I've been messing around with it. So far, it's a really cool Web 2 experience. I'm excited to see what you guys do integrating it with Web 3. So I guess this kind of ties into my next question. So I know you guys don't want to spill too much. So obviously, this is kind of related to stars and incentives. So will there be a Kadena Bulls token that coexists with the NFTs?
Possibly. I can. That's as much as I can say at the moment.
Cool. All right, yeah. So then I guess so on to the next question, which is more NFT oriented. Are you guys going to be minting on your own marketplace using Marmalade, or are you guys going to use a third party? Obviously, I know you guys, if you are under a third party, you probably have NDAs and such, so you can't really say much. So feel free to skip over this if you need to.
Yeah, that's correct. We can't say much at the moment. We have considered definitely both options. Yeah, so more details will be shared within hopefully the week. So stay tuned for that.
That's cool.
As everyone's been kind of guessing, we've been gearing up for something big. So yeah, stay tuned very, very shortly.
All right. And I see C-Fi's in here. What up? Glad to see you here.
I'm busy. I'm playing your Tetris right now.
Oh,
No way.
wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You got this shit going now. I'm like, okay, I'm playing Tetris.
It's kind of fast, huh?
I played Pac-Man first, and I forgot how easy it is to get owned in that game. I remember playing like the version you have on there, like when it came out for like the Atari 5600 and shit. Me and my dad used to sit in the morning before I went to school. Back in like, when was that? For like, I think it was the 80s or something.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
What's your score? What are you at right now?
I'm at 1340 on Tetris at the moment. I just started.
Nice. Nice. We got the Kadena Gaming Olympics coming up shortly as well. So we'll have that sign up form probably today for people to sign up for teams, and then it's going to go on. We'll make an announcement today to repeat all these details, but it's going to start Saturday and run for 4 to 8 hours, and you can select the team. So far, we got like us, we got Kongs, we got I believe Gallina's, we got KDA Mining, we got like all your guys' favorite projects all on board. So and there'll be some rewards for whitelist spots. So yeah, look out for the announcement today. It's gonna be pretty fun.
Alpha for you guys, for everyone that's in here right now. That's some alpha.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. pretty fun stuff. Last time we capped it only to like 35 players. Now there's no cap; anyone could play. But yeah, the first edition we capped at 35 players, and we had over 800 games played within like 23 hours, which like we didn't expect either. And
Wow,
that's when
crazy.
everyone got the highest scores because the motivation was high. We gave away some whitelist spots. I forgot which other projects, but there were some cross-chain project whitelist spots that we gave, and then of course whitelist spots of our own. I think we even might have given a free mint or something. So people went hard. Like people went hard with playing those games. They were like doubling high scores. People in the Discord were just posting scores throughout the night, like crazy hours. I mean, I played for at least like 2-3 hours just trying to beat someone's snake store. And I went to bed. I was like, yep, all right, cool. I'm in first place. Went to bed. I woke up in fourth place. But it's all fun times for sure.
Yeah, I think the demand is definitely here for Kadena now, so I'm really excited to actually see it, put into place, especially with, you guys Mint coming up and a bunch of other projects, so excited for that. So also another NFT-oriented question. I know you were talking about value accrual through Casino and Arkade and how that's going to be rewarding Kadena Bulls holders. So I'm guessing that's through fees and maybe lost wagers and stuff like that.
Well, right now we don't have any plans of implementing any fees. So it is like, it's free to play basically. I mean, you're wagering, but we're not taking any fees on top or anything like that. So we don't plan on doing that. We do want it to be completely fair, and we want to, have the project or the community take part in the project, which like we don't see in real world casinos, right? And this idea has been inspired by some other wagering type of projects on crypto, such as like Degen Coin Flip on Solana, the Sevens, which was on Terra, Lunar Coin Flip as well, which was on Terra. So if you look at kind of their models, we're going to do something similar. But as far as like actual fees to flip or to play or anything like that, we won't include those anytime soon. At least we don't plan to.
Awesome. So I think I have one more question from my side, and then we can open it up to the community. How will the treasury mechanisms be like? So as you know, with many other NFT projects, there are treasuries that are used from, the KDA that's used for the mint is usually put into treasury, and it's eventually rewarded to the holders of the NFT. What will the system look like for Kadena Bulls?
Yeah, so that's going to be in line with the star system that I kind of briefly touched on. So we'll have like a very detailed article on how all that's going to work. We're actually getting some consulting around it. That's not necessarily my personal department with everything. So we'll have, like I said, details on that specifically. But essentially, there will be a portion of the mint that will be allocated to paying out the players of the arcade. Specifically, the casino will be something separate, but because that's going to accrue kind of its own type of treasury with the winnings of the house. So that will be paid out to the holders. But then on the arcade side, that will be in line with the treasury will be in line with the star system. And as you earn stars, you can get rewarded from the treasury. So yeah, we want the money to kind of be the KDA to be kind of circulating throughout the ecosystem and allow people to earn extra rewards for being holders, because we want the rewards still to be available for non-holders, but the ones who are holding it will get much more like incentive.
Yeah, totally. That's great. So I'm really excited personally for the Kadena Bulls mint. I'll definitely be grabbing one myself. So very excited for that.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I think it's time maybe we open up to community questions. So if you guys have a question, you guys can feel free to raise your hand, and then we will invite you to speak, or you can request.
Hey, let me ask you something about these games. So I missed some of the conversation, but you have this arcade, and then is that a way to, I guess, get whitelisted for NFTs? Is that like almost like a CAPTCHA sort of, or like what's the intent of the whole thing?
Right. So initially, right now, before Mint, what you can do is if you see that login button at the top right for Discord, you can log in with your Discord, and then if you click rules, you can kind of see the metrics with how you can earn 1 star for each type of game. So as you hit these certain levels in each game, you can earn stars, and then those stars are tracked through your Discord account actually. And then if you earn 50 stars, it will automatically update your role in Discord as a whitelist member. So that's one way to earn a whitelist. You know, we've had other ways, giveaways and collaborations and such as that. But does that answer your question with how the stars work right now?
Yeah, and I guess this is in relation to the problem of, I guess, how to allocate whitelist spots and how to prevent botting and everything else. Is that pretty much the idea here?
Yep. Yeah. So it's pretty secure. I actually developed this system myself, and we didn't want to just do the same old that everyone else was kind of doing with earning whitelist spots. I think people kind of are a bit bored of such like giveaways and those sorts of things. So we wanted to just make something a bit more exciting and a bit more challenging, right? Because we want people to kind of work for it a little bit, right? Like there's going to be a lot of rewards and incentives. So if you're truly passionate and aligned with the vision, you're going to go in and play some games and earn a whitelist that way. So and it's the only way to hit that API is through playing those games. So no bots can snag a role or anything like that.
There's kind of an interesting style of game that's really old, like back when like modems and shit were around and people had BBS systems on their PCs before the internet. And I know this is getting like kind of off the deep end, but there's a game you can pull up called Legend of the Red Dragon. It was kind of one of the earliest of the sort of like online sort of text-based RPGs. But I've been waiting for someone to build something like that into a kind of NFT sort of whitelisting world type of concept, or some other kind of I don't know, something like that. If you type Legend of the Red Dragon, just punch it up and Google it, you'll find that you can actually
find searching it now.
You can actually find a playable version of the game. It's just like open. I don't know if it's open source or what, but people have run it for free on the internet, and you can just kind of log in and play it. Anyway, it's like a text-based, old school, like little mini RPG, and it used to be a lot of fun for what it was back in the day. But it's a type of game that if it's open source and you could like integrate it, it might be pretty cool. There's a variety of games like that. They used to call them like BBS door games. I don't know why they're called door games, but like that's just what they were. And what was interesting about them is like you could only play like a certain amount per day. So it created like a reason to, number one, not clog up that server, because it would like clog up one modem essentially of that server for who knows how much time. So they would give you like either stamina points or something like that, and you would have to go back to play every day in order to like advance in the game. But stuff like that seems like interesting to make a comeback at some point, and I think culturally it could make a comeback as a very simple way to play, and maybe tie it into NFTs or something. I don't know. Just like, I don't think you have to have gaming where you have to be like freaking Activision or some shit to come up with like, you don't need the next Diablo 3, in other words, to have a culturally interesting game that goes back to the like roots, sort of old school.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm taking a look at it right now. It reminds me of a similar project I made actually back when I was learning how to code in my boot camp days in San Francisco, learning how to code in the CLI. So we created some type of games like this, which is cool. So this is a phenomenal idea actually. I'm suck at multitasking, so I'm kind of trying to read it and talk about it at the same time. But yeah, definitely gonna talk about this with the team. This is sick. Definitely like much easier to code in on the blockchain than doing these crazy like AAA style games, right?
Yeah, and if
It's like
if
yeah.
a consideration could be like a game like this could be like created in sort of modules, almost like there's some like how like old school RPGs used to be. You're on a table and people are telling stories and whatnot, right? Like you could make modules of different sections, and like the community creates some of the story and whatnot. And no, you could wind up with something very interesting, I think, without having to have like a heavy amount of resources and like graphical resources and shit like that, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's the idea with the arcade, right? So no, I'm totally in line with this. Definitely gonna talk about it with the team. I know Snow and Cody are both RPG experts when it comes to that side of things. So I'll talk to them about it. I'm sure they're gonna have some really cool ideas. I wish Snow was on the call. Let me nudge him again.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Definitely would like to try some stuff out, especially on Kadena. Like all this stuff is being built on Kadena, which is like really cool to see how far the chain has come. Especially over it's only been a few months, right? Hasn't even been that long. We're already talking about this kind of stuff, which is really cool. So just want to. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to request. Do note that if you do want to speak, you do have to be on a phone right now. It's just how Twitter is. And yeah, if you have any questions or if you just want to, just chat a little bit, feel free to come on.
So what do you guys think about like just being, I don't know, like just super, super, I know it's the cliche, but super, super early, right? Like, there's kind of like opportunities there, but at the same time, like it's hard to find the attention and everything. But I don't know. It's interesting being part of a relatively small OG community, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. From my experience, this is definitely a lot bigger than what it was a few months ago. Like a lot bigger than what I originally thought. I remember when the Telegram chats maybe had a few like maybe like 100 or 200 messages per day. Now it can stack up to the thousands. So definitely a bigger community, and with that, I guess we obviously have a bigger ecosystem, which is why we are having this AMA right now, and we have a bunch of more AMAs coming up later down the line. You'll hear from those. You'll hear those announcements soon. So I think it's definitely like cool to be this early because, as you know, we recently fell out of the top 100. Even though our ecosystem has new projects being announced every day and every day, so it's only just I guess making me more confident that we're going to be on top one day, and all these projects that are here early are also going to follow Kadena to the top.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, from our perspective as NFT project, and actually, developing on the network, that is very, very new. And on top of that, it having its own smart contract language that Kadena team itself has created. First off, it's very exciting, as Manatee was saying, and we're very grateful because of how like quickly we've been able to build connections here, and how welcoming everyone's been too, and how helpful. And then with the opposite side, the challenges are there's less resources with developing it. You really got to do a lot of the groundwork up front versus maybe on other network. There are already tools for you to build. There's already questions that have been asked and answered. There's more documentation, videos, even just like third-party tooling that takes away all the low-level coding, and you gotta get to connect things at a much higher level. So it's much faster. So those are some of the cons, but again, we're grateful to be here early. to build the connections that we have. We truly feel like with such a smaller community, we're able to build to like how do I say this? I'm not trying to sound corny, but it's almost like a family, right? Like we're all kind of in this together from the beginning, and get to see this kind of unfold slowly but surely. I mean, even with these like big announcements such as everything happening with CADEX and KD Swap and Hypercent announcing their marketplace and all these new big things coming. I think being early, we're very fortunate because once this thing, catches wind, I think it's gonna go crazy.
But by the way, what was the controversy with like CADEX and whatnot? Like what happened there? My understanding is some sort of shenanigans took place there, and like something with token launch or something. Are you guys concerned about that? What's going on with it?
So no, we're not necessarily. It's not really our place to speak on that situation, but it just kind of came down to misunderstanding from my research and my due diligence. But then again, we're not CADEX, so we can't really speak on the ins and outs of that necessarily, but we're not too concerned about it whatsoever on our end.
Okay, I just didn't know too much about it. I just sort of like peripherally heard some sort of controversy, so I wasn't sure if it was relevant or mattered or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was definitely it was there was a huge fuss over it. It really just came down to some miscommunications, and there was a lot of misinformation in what a specific person was spreading around, and their intentions were not, let's just say, I guess, pure. And I mean, they came out. CADEX team made a statement, and they fixed the problem. And obviously, now we know they're launching in June. Be a gas-free DEX. It's going to have a lot of features, single-sided liquidity. It's going to have a really, really efficient impermanent loss mitigation system in place. So that's going to be really fun to see in action. It's going to attract a lot of liquidity to Kadena and CADEX. So yeah, I mean, I would just say what SN0 said. It was just more on the miscommunication side than actually like a whole controversy, a whole scandal.
Yeah, and obviously, I don't want to speak on. I don't want to speak for anyone or anything like that. But we're just not worried about it on our end. It's really easy to spread misinformation these days, especially through like platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, etc. If somebody doesn't agree with one thing, it's very easy for them to type up a Medium article and share that throughout the headline. So take a lot of things with a grain of salt. But on our end, for the Kadena Bulls, we're not too worried about it whatsoever, and we're rocking with CADEX very strong.
All right. So just a reminder, if anyone wants to come on, feel free to request. And if we don't have anyone to come on, we can, I guess, wrap up the space. And then if CFI or SN0, if you guys want to speak a little bit more, feel free to. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can just throw out some like user questions a little bit here. Just like having not, like I own some coins, but like I haven't stuck on exchange and I haven't really done anything. So maybe you guys can like comment a little bit about where like user experiences are now. Like for example, like KD Swap, I talked to like a week ago or something like that. Like how effective has that DEX been as far as like speed, and has any of the like system at large been like battle tested for speed? Just because obviously one of the claims of the Kadena system, our speed, is that like speed and scalability, obviously. But have you guys felt really good about like how many transactions per second you can get now, or like is the user experience like quick? Like what does that feel like now?
Yeah, for me on like I'll speak on like using CADEX, for example, the X wallet. Like I love the experience with X wallet. I mean, that's why with the casino, that's the only wallet that we have implemented on there. As there are a couple other wallets, such as the Chainweaver, Classic wallet, and then the Zelcore wallet, which are both obviously great. We personally love I personally love X Wallet because of how smooth the experience is, how the success messaging, the error handling is all very clean. I don't feel any friction when connecting my wallet or sending tokens from exchange to the wallet, or vice versa. Even when I went on to KD Swap and using X Wallet, it was very smooth. And on top of that, even just KD Swap itself was one of the smoothest experiences I've had so far, actually, on the network. Like going in there, being able to swap tokens, add to the liquidity pool, the messaging of it, the transaction sending was very clear. It took, I think maybe a little over a minute or so, and everything showed up, which was great. So I really enjoyed that experience. I think where the biggest friction is in Kadena in general is having to select the different chains that you're on. So if you're on chain 0 and the network or the DApp operates on chain 1, like that's kind of annoying to have to do that extra step, just being frank. So I know they're working on systems where like that won't be an issue anymore, and everything will be taken care of on the back end. So you won't need to select chain or select anything like that, and it'll just know, which I'm pretty excited about. But like that just shows like how early we are with all of this. I mean, I don't want to like sit and compare to a bunch of other networks, but I know a lot of us come from the Terra community, and I did as well. And that's besides Ethereum, that's where I started developing on the blockchain side, and seeing like the progress that happened over a year was insane. Like my first couple months developing on it versus like even 5-6 months later, just how much easier it was and how much cleaner the UI and UX was. I see a parallel here with Kadena with that type of progress. I mean, they're doing new versions of everything every week, every other week. So it's pretty cool to see. But yeah, overall the experience, the UI, like I think all the dApps on here like understand how important that is. And then as we make transaction speeds faster and the back end faster, like at least like the front end is kind of preparing us for that, right? The front end experience has been great. The error handling, the messaging, success messaging, once again, all of that has been super clear. And I think that's super important in keeping a great user experience is when someone clicks a button, what's happening, right? And I think we've been able to deliver that so far. So that's pretty cool.
As a quick walkthrough, so here I am, like, total noob here. I'm jumping on to X Wallet. I guess it's the Chrome extension. And it's the one by cadex.com, I guess. Right. Is that the one people you think should be using first and foremost, or is there a better one to start out with and then import your seed phrase? Like, what would you do here?
Yeah, I mean, it really is preference. I personally like X Wallet. I think it's very clean. So that's me. I know a lot of people use Zelcore as well. So I think those two are probably most intuitive and most popular.
Like, is there anything particular on Zelcore that allows you to do something right now that you would want to be able to like swap back and forth or something? Or
yeah, I think on Zelcore you can swap with. I think there are more tokens available on there at the moment. I haven't really used Zelcore too much. I don't know if someone else wants to answer that, Manatee. But
yeah, I would say Zelcore. The only reason that you would really use Zelcore over X Wallet, because X Wallet you can actually add custom tokens on the Kadena network. I'd say the only reason that you use Zelcore over X Wallet is for security, because if you have like a little bit of flux on there, you can turn on decentralized two-factor authentication, which is like a PIN code when you try to log in. And I think there's some other neat security features and some cool third-party apps that you can use Zelcore with. Like, I think you can trade through your Binance and FTX accounts through Zelcore if you wanted to do that, stuff like that. So
Zelcore is made by the same people that created Flux, right? Like Damien and Keller and stuff.
Yep. So yeah, if you want to be on the more experimental side of things, definitely go with X Wallet. And maybe you want to keep some light KDA on X Wallet right now because obviously it's still a hot wallet. So is Zelcore, but Zelcore has some more security features in there. So if you're going to store the large bulk of your KDA, I would go with Zelcore, and then playing around the ecosystem, definitely have KDA in your X Wallet. I would say that's the best way to go.
So right now, but the seed phrase for your X wallet and is fully compatible with Zelcore, right? Or are they different?
I think it's different.
Like,
I think Zelcore. Yeah, I don't think Zelcore does the. I think it's called BIP. I don't think they do that. So I think it's like. It's a special type of wallet system. You could probably ask around in their Discord because, sorry, I just don't know the answer to that. But they're not interchangeable as far as I know.
So the way to go is probably to make like one of each and then see what you like. Because the other thing is like, how are you getting your KDA? Like, where are you getting it from, and how are you getting it like inexpensively to populate your wallet right now?
Is that like a question of like?
Yeah, like what exchange are you getting them on or whatever? Like, what's a good choice here?
Well, I would, if you're in like the US and you want to go with a regulated exchange, I would say maybe OKCoin or Coin Metro. They support KDA and they're very trusted, reliable exchanges. And then for on-ramp and I guess if you're fine using a non-KYC exchange, I would say KuCoin, but there have been some issues with wallets going down in the past on KuCoin and some controversies there with KDA. So that's it's. I wouldn't say it's a more risky bet, but it's just a bet to say the least.
Well, I think withdrawals were closed from time to time too. Like,
yep.
And I'm not sure why that would be, but
yeah, multiple times.
So, because I'm kind of stuck on KuCoin for the moment with KDA. So that's why I haven't really had an opportunity to do much playing around. I got to time my shit to where like they're actually open one day for withdrawals and then kind of pull it off.
Yeah, I think they're open now.
Oh, are they fixed now?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then and I think the Ledger support is coming, right? Like, is it going to come first to Chainweaver or the chain? I think it's called Chainweaver, right? What's the name of the wallet for Chainweaver wallet?
Yeah, Chainweaver. So yeah.
Yeah. So is Chainweaver is that going to be the first one to support Ledger? Or I know they were talking about that late last year. I just don't remember like what the ETA on that was going to be.
So yeah, it is going to be the first wallet to support Ledger, like signing transactions with your Ledger, because I don't think they have plans for Ledger Live at the moment. They're more focused on even getting the initial support for it down first. So Doug actually spoke on it in one of his office hours. Blockchain Doug, he's the director of engineering at Kadena. So he spoke on it, and he was talking about how they're getting closer and closer to finally, like, signing a bulk of transactions using a Ledger wallet on Kadena. So he said that it's more of an issue with Ledger right now because Ledger does not have the memory capacity to actually support some Kadena transactions. So they're trying to get some workarounds for that. And he said, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. But like time takes, or engineering takes time, right? So it's still on the 2022 roadmap, but the team doesn't like to give like deadlines, and it could absolutely be delayed. So that's just it's more
for now. It's probably not a big deal because you could hot wallet and then later move it. It's when you start getting into like DeFi entanglements that like you'll wish you had your ledger before you do all that shit because then you can't move things, right? So it's kind of like less relevant maybe now because there's not as much stuff to do. But yeah, on a side note, for like a total newbie, like what are the sites to bookmark at this point as far as like the coolest stuff coming out? I guess there's the Kadena Bulls, and I was kind of playing around with that earlier. There's KD Swap. Like what else has started, or what do you guys see as things that are like opening soon that are going to be interesting to you guys?
So I'll go ahead and start. So we actually have a website launching soon, which is going to showcase every Kadena project, and it's going to be a really cool ecosystem website. You'll be able to browse through and check out different projects. It's going to be updated continuously, and it's just going to be more of an exploration site, and it's going to really fun projects. If you're listening in, feel free to sign up with our form. I'll tweet that out right now if any projects are here that want to be listed on the website that are lesser known, so that we can put you on there. And it should be launching pretty soon. I can't say much, but that's going to be an outlet for anyone who wants to research more into the ecosystem.
Do you have your URL yet, by chance?
Well, we do, but I can't say much. It's not in my control at the moment. So,
It's not open yet, anyway.
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it will be launching very soon, and yeah, just keep an eye out. Follow us, and then we will tweet about it once it's launched, and it's going to be really, really useful. Okay, so if anybody else wants to speak, you can request now. I'll give you guys about a minute to do so. If not, I think we can wrap it up. But yeah, it was a really fun space. Thank you all for coming here today. Thank you, C5, for your surprise join. It was nice to see you. And then thank you, Kadena Bulls, for co-hosting this with me. Very much appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you guys finally, seeing you guys mint. And I'll definitely be minting one myself, as I said. So thank you, everyone.
Dude, awesome. Yeah, thanks for hosting this, man. I love these. Yeah, I love connecting with the community, sharing stuff, learning. It's fun.
That wraps it up for another amazing AMA. Thank you very much for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also ensure to follow all our social media, from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter, to ensure you are up to date on everything KDA related. You can find the links directly on our SoundCloud profile page. Thank you and take care.